Welcome, speculators. There's a little oil exploration company I've been watching for a long time. It used to be a capital pool company in the early 2000s. Eventually started looking for oil in northeastern Africa and split off Africa Energy. You guys might remember they paid really well for the shareholders involved in that over time. It spun off Horn Energy, which was looking for oil and didn't work, and eventually changed their name to Africa Energy. So now we're in Africa Energy. They had these projects in Somalia, or the Puntland part of Somalia, and they've had all kinds of problems along the way, from geologists getting kidnapped to the government not knowing if they really own the land or not, or if their concessions are really theirs or not, and whether they get access to the ground or not, how much it costs for all the security personnel to escort their geologists around not to get kidnapped. And things like doing seismic with, thugs with machine guns running around the desert. They're poor as can be, hoping to get any kind of money out of you they can. Just a hard place to work, but very prospective for oil. And someday, that part of the world will probably crack open and be a great oil producing place. So if you're the first one there's probably a lot of money to be made off of it. You just have to take the risk of what's going on above ground to get there. And so Africa Oil's been trying to do that. And recently, after a couple misses and the market crash and stuff, they've decided to move on. They changed the people around. They did a recent financing. They changed the name. It's now Africa Energy, not Horn Petroleum anymore. And they're looking to gun for it on other projects, other Africa Energy kinds of projects. So we'll see what they come up with. They're a creative group of guys backed by the Lundins, which have numerous successes in their track record and a great following because of those successes. And their creativity and learning curve over time is probably the best it's ever been. So we'll see what they come up with. I'm watching them close, and here's their latest news release. When an asset becomes a liability, they've taken their assets and said, we don't want them anymore. Hey guys, here you go. You can have them back. We're not working on them. We're not going to lay any claim to these projects in Somalia anymore. And let the local governments figure it out and get someone else to come in and work on them if they can. So they're not going to pay any of their fees or be threatened by them for anything going forward. Say goodbye. That's not an asset when you got to pay and you're not getting anything out of it. I would expect their share price to go up when they get rid of something like that. I mean, that's not what I would think people are there for anymore. They're there for their guys and the name. So I was looking at the share price, and this news release is a couple days ago. Share price is 10 cents, a little bit of volume today, 50,000 shares. It's been trading down to 9 cents. A couple days ago it was 12 or 13 or something when this news came out. So it's actually traded down on the news of them getting rid of a liability. You'd think that's a net benefit. In my personal finances, getting rid of a bill, like a credit card bill, would be a bonus to my net worth. But in penny stocks, people don't look at it that way. So that creates opportunity too. So I think them getting rid of the bills of those projects, you would think would increase the value of this company if you know who the people are behind the company. So it hasn't. Share price has gone down. Maybe in the short term that's an opportunity. We'll see what it does in the long term. Recently, they did a financing. They believe they asked for $15 million, if I remember the news releases right. I didn't look them up just now to quote them, so I might be off. Maybe 14 or 16 or something, but I just remember $15 million is what they were going for. And they ended up with a little over $4 million that they were able to raise. It's a tough market for everybody. Even the best of the best are having a hard time raising money. Or maybe they didn't offer sweet enough terms. But they got $4 million, and this was on March 30th that they posted that. So if you look at their most recent financials, which have come out subsequent to that, these are as of March 31st, so they incorporate that March 30th closing of the financing. $3.5 million in cash. So they raised a little over $4. I'm sure they had to pay fees and brokers and finders or whoever else in between. Some of that money disappeared. They probably owed some money to someone, and they ended up with $3.5 million the day after they raised 4.2. They're spending some of this money along the way, $650,000 every 3 months. That's like what, almost $220,000 a month they're spending. Um, about a third of that is non-cash. It's shares, not cash. So they're not spending cash as fast as almost $250,000 a month. But printing shares for the management is also diluting out my interest in this company. So net, it's almost $250,000 a month are going away to keep the lights on. Let's go back on the quote of this thing. It's $12 million market cap at 10 cents. So, $3.5 million of that, $3 million of that or so, today's dates are backed by cash. So there's a good premium in there because of the name and the people, even in today's markets. Hot air that could dry up and go away. I mean, this thing could go down to 2 cents, trade at cash, or 3 cents or something. But it's not. It's traded 10 cents because of the people in there. And those people, I think, will use that to get their next projects. Maybe pay shares or some kind of swap spit in one way or another to get their next projects. Probably do a financing on the back of it or in conjunction with their new projects that they love. And I bet you it'll be sweet projects because these guys know what to look for. So I'm watching Africa Energy close. I'd love to see what their next projects are. And I'd love to hear any comments or questions you have about Africa Energy, the guys, their strategies, their business, whatever it might be, in the comments below. Or insights you may have on this company as well. I think that's what we're all here for, is to learn. So if you have something to share, it'd be much appreciated. If you like these kinds of videos, please feel free to hit a thumbs up and or subscribe to this channel to see more on Africa Energy and other companies like them. Thanks for listening.